what is up, guys and gals? Julian RH15 here, back again with another video. And today we're still talking about Marvel Rivals. Listen, y'all blew up my previous video on my 15 character wish list and who I want to see in the game. Just to explain myself, that list wasn't just like, oh, these are the only characters I rather see in Marvel Rivals. It was just 15 characters I wanted to put in Marvel Rivals. It has nothing against the other characters. I don't know where the idea came from, where like this 15 list I made is who I want in the game more than others. It's just a list, guys. Don't take it that serious. For those who kept it civil in the comments, thank you, and also correcting me in some of the things I said. Appreciate that a lot. Like I said, I'm more of a DC guy or Marvel guy. You also gave a ton of suggestions and also your guys' and gals' wish list, which I appreciate. And that's basically how this video came about. This is the community's wish list of who they want to see in Marvel Rivals. I will also be providing 3 additional concepts for some of the most popular requested characters throughout the video. But before we start, can we just take the time to hit that sub button? It takes the same amount of time for me to leave a heart on your comment for you to subscribe. So thank you. Please enjoy the video. I've seen a ton of people comment they want Ghost Rider. He might be the most commented character they want in this game, and I completely understand why. If they do add Ghost Rider to this game, a lot of people want to see Johnny Blaze. Me personally, I like Johnny Blaze, and if they choose Johnny Blaze, he should be Vanguard. If they go with Robbie Reyes, which is my favorite Ghost Rider, I mean, Johnny Blaze is a close second, but I like Robbie Reyes' story a lot. To go with Robbie Reyes, he should be a duelist. Put Ghost Rider in your parlay, because I give Ghost Rider's chances to be in Marvel Rivals about 95%. If this video gets 100 likes in 24 hours, I'll be making a Ghost Rider concept for Marvel Rivals. Another character people want to see in Marvel Rivals, and I personally want to see too, is Daredevil. I mentioned him in the previous video, but I didn't really say much about him because it's Daredevil. He should be in this game, let's be honest. He's popular on TV and he's really popular in the comics. You can do a lot with him that doesn't have to be swinging related, because Spider-Man does that already. And also imagine the costumes. They want to sell skins. And guess who has a lot of appearances to pull from? It's Daredevil. I'll give Daredevil chances the same as Ghost Rider's, 95%. The next character here really caught me by surprise. Agatha. I don't know if it's because of her recent show, because I thought people were kind of mixed on it. I like the back half of this season, me personally. But Agatha is very interesting for this game, because I could actually see her in it, but as a Vanguard. I don't think we have any female Vanguards besides Penny Parker from my memory. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's just Penny Parker as the female Vanguard. So I think Agatha would be a perfect fit. Can you imagine all the magical moves that she can do, and probably curses that can like double damage for your like teammates and stuff? I'm not gonna fully think about it, but a lot of people want Agatha. You know what? I agree. Agatha should be in the game. I'm giving her chances though around 60 to 70%. This next character here that you guys requested, I know probably nothing about. I just know they have a show on Hulu that has 2 seasons. That's Hitmonkey. It looks like his weapons is gun and katana. If he has any other special moves or powers, I'm sorry, I do not know, but it's a monkey. So I say absolutely. I'm gonna give Hitmonkey's chances in this game, since Marvel Rivals pull from anywhere, it looks like 75%. I was also shocked by the surprise for the amount of people who want Yondu in this game. Problem is, they just announced Hawkeye, who, you know, he has a bow, you know, and classic Yondu in the comics uses a bow, and the movies changed that where he can whistle and use it. So if they want to change it to that canon, then it could still work. I still think it works regardless if he's, you know, still using his bow. Just make him a support, or not support, I'm sorry, strategist. It'll be a mix-up from the main cast of the Guardians of the Galaxy, since he was one of the first members of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics in the first place. And I believe a support archer hasn't been done before in any hero shooter. I could be wrong on that. I wonder how it would be done, but I'm interested to see. But the likelihood of him making it to the game, I say it's about a 50% chance. And you can never forget about the Merc with the mouth, Deadpool. I'm not even gonna put any comments on the screen. You already know Deadpool is already one of the most wanted characters in this game. That's why I'm giving him a 99%. He's obviously also gonna be a duelist. Come on. Now it's time to speed things up a little bit. I grouped a bunch of requested characters into one segment for this video, and we're just gonna speed run through them. From the wish list I made last time, a lot of you guys mentioned about how many legacy / adjacent characters I put in the video. I apologize. I thought this game would have enough to where these like legacy characters can be absolutely different from the other versions of them. I still think they could absolutely do that, but a lot of people disagree or gives another take on it, which is completely understandable. Everyone has their opinion. And I agree with some of the facts that, hey, some of these legacy characters may not work. Or at least they don't want to shove the legacy characters first and over original characters like Ghost Rider and Daredevil like we saw before. With that being said, a lot of other people want to see these characters as a fully fledged playable character. From the likes of Spider-Man 2099, Gwenpool, Beta Ray Bill, and Miles Morales, a lot of these guys might not make the cut. I give Spider-Man 2099 about a 15% chance. Beta Ray Bill, unless he has something secret I don't know about, he's almost just Thor. We'll give him a 10% chance. Gwenpool, I know Gwenpool's not a fully fledged like legacy character for Deadpool, but she's just a variant of Deadpool that's just Gwen Stacy. They don't have the same powers, I don't think. I'm gonna give her a 20% chance. And Miles Morales is so popular, I'm still gonna give him a 50% chance because listen, if Sony comes in with that big bag of money to say, hey, we want Miles Morales in this game as a playable character, they best believe they're doing it. We're now moving on to the Spider-Man Rogues Gallery. Let's speedrun this. Morbius, I have a feeling that Blade's gonna be in the game before Morbius, and I don't know if they want a vampire again. I know Blade's considered a daywalker, I believe, and Morbius is a straight vampire. I still think he's a cool design. His movie sucked ass, and I don't know if he's like popular in the comics, so I'm gonna give him a 40% chance. We have Dr. Octopus next, who is a famous Spider-Man villain. I believe if Dr. Octopus is in this game, he's either Vanguard or Strategist. I don't see him being a duelist, but he's high with the fans, so I'm gonna give him an 80% chance. Venom's already in the game, we don't have to talk about him. Electro might be a tough one because we already have Storm, and I don't know how many electricity abilities that we need. Again, also Thor's in the game as well, if you want to count that. Electro's still interesting though. I'm gonna give him a 30% chance. Carnage is a very interesting case. They could absolutely do another character with the symbiote if it's done correctly. But the chances for him after Venom is like maybe a 40% chance because at least he's interesting in the comics. Rhino's up next. He's pretty basic for the most part. Again, they could do an absolute switch up and make him a baller in this game. I'll give him a Rhino has a 40% chance. Kraven the Hunter is someone I talked about before in my wish list. I still think he's pretty high on a lot of people's wish list because he's pretty cool character design wise. And again, if Sony walks in with that bundle of cash, you know, they would have put his ass in the game. I want to see him as a Vanguard, like a tracker Vanguard. That'll be pretty cool. I'm gonna give him a 70% chance. Next up, we have Kingpin, who's definitely gonna be a Vanguard if he's ever in this game. He's so goddamn big. I put Kingpin at probably at the lowest here, probably at 10%. Very popular character, but not a lot to work with. Green Goblin is probably the most famous Spider-Man villain, right behind Venom and Dr. Octopus. I will be shocked if he's not in this game or mentioned or referenced in this game. Out of everybody on this list, I'm gonna put a 90% for Green Goblin. And here's my opinion, everybody's chances to get into Marvel Rivals. I already know what you're saying. You missed Mysterio. No, I didn't, because Mysterio is our first concept character for today's video. Let's break down all of his abilities. So Mysterio is a very dangerous strategist. I made him a strategist in this game. I know Loki exists, but I believe I made him different enough from where he's not Loki like at all. So Mysterio's primary fire, left hand magic, is his damage dealing gauntlet or whatever wrist device he has, and that's how he's going to shoot out his damage. His secondary fire will be called right hand magic, and it does his healing. Think of Moira. This is what I try to base it off, kind of like Moira's primary fire, but it's not like a grasp like ability that she has. It will shoot out rings or something like that, where, you know, the left hand does damage and the right hand does healing. If you played Moira in Overwatch, you understand. His first ability is called Just the Two of Us. He will make a duplicate copy of himself. This is similar to Mirage's ability from Apex Legends, where everything Mysterio does will be copied by the duplicate. That includes all of the abilities he has, except for his ultimate. The ultimate will cancel out the first ability. On top of that, if an enemy shoots the duplicate, it will 1, do damage to the enemy, and 2, will heal your nearby teammates. His second ability is called Disguise. You will get to disguise yourself as someone on the enemy team. You can't do the same abilities as that person on the enemy team, but you'll still use your normal primary and secondary fire, and also you're still allowed to use your abilities. So you can copy, let's say, magic on the enemy team, and there'll be 2 magics, one on the enemy team and another one on your team. But if you do that, it's kind of an out of like who you are in the enemy team. So imagine being on the back line of the enemy team healing your teammates. It'll be kind of funny. I thought it would be funny. Third ability is called Clouded Judgment. Think about where Soldier drops that heal ring, but in this case, the heal ring will track Mysterio wherever he goes. So if any teammates are nearby, they will get healed. And of course, if you use the first ability, it will also do the same thing. His passive is called Now I See You. When on critical health, all enemies are revealed to you and you only. So it is a double-edged sword. You can see everybody on the map on the enemy team, but only if you're like below 10% health. If you want, you could stay at 10% health and you can play like that, but you will instantly, let's be honest, you'll instantly die. It's a weird passive, I know, but this is a weird freaking character, and this is the only thing I thought of for his passive. His ultimate is called Master of Illusion. Mysterio smokes the battlefield with green mist, poisoning enemies and healing teammates for a limited amount of time. It is pretty self-explanatory. The more the enemies are inside the mist, the more damage it does. It doesn't instantly kill them, but over time it will do a lot of damage, so you want to get out of there as fast as possible. And also, I mentioned it can heal teammates, so if your teammates are inside the green smoke, they will get healed, and then if they continue to stay in it, they'll get more heals over time. Let's say it lasts for about 10 seconds. This is a area clearing ultimate like Wrecking Balls in Overwatch 2 where he drops the bombs. In this case, it is gas or mist, wherever you want to call it. Last time I didn't do this, and I don't think I'm going to continue to do it unless I have an idea. I did make a team up ability called Art of Delusion. Loki and Mysterio will have one more clone in their arsenal if they're both picked on the same team. Finally on the X-Men. A lot of people ask for more mutants on the roster, and I completely agree. We need more X-Men love. And I think we're going to get it soon, but there's some that hasn't been confirmed or leaked, so let's get to it. Let's pretend Wolverine's not here. Bishop, I made a concept for him last wish list and y'all really liked it. But I'm still gonna give him around a 60% chance. Jean Grey, a very popular character, I'm gonna give her a 85% chance. Gambit is probably the most highly rated X-Men besides another person, which I won't get into yet. I'm gonna give Gambit a 90% chance. Storm is already in the game. Rogue will be interesting, and I would assume kind of difficult to implement. I'm gonna give Rogue a 65% chance. 5% chance. A lot of people in the community wants to see Beast shine, and I would agree, yes. But will Marvel Rivals pull the trigger? That's a different question. So I'm gonna give Beast a 65% chance of making it. I would assume Jubilee would be popular amongst the community, and she is. A lot of people ask for her. I'm gonna give her a high 80%. Believe it or not, there is more X-Men to talk about. Iceman is a lot of people's favorites. This is difficult to say. Luna Snow's in the game. She's a strategist. She heals. She probably has most of the moves Iceman would have anyways. People want to see him in the game as a duelist or a vanguard. I think his chances are slim, but not impossible. I'm going to give Iceman 30%. But Quicksilver, on the other hand, damn near, I'm going to give him 90%, only because, think about it, Magneto's in the game, Scarlet Witch is in the game. We need one more family member to complete that trio, and it'll be nice to see a speedster in the game. A lot of people also requested to see Nightcrawler, Dazzler, and Angel in this game, all unique in their own ways. I'm going to say they all have the same chance to get in the game. I'm going to say 50%. But what's missing from the X-Men is the leader, not Professor X, Scott Summers, Cyclops. I have seen a bunch of requests to see Cyclops in this game one way or another, as a duelist or as a strategist. I went with the duelist route, but I agree he could be a great strategist. But here's my concept for a duelist Cyclops. And also chat, did I cook? Just like I mentioned, Cyclops will be a duelist in this game. His primary fire being Energy Blast. This will be a slow fire rate with no fall-off damage, so he'll be not a sniper, more of a marksman type of character. The Energy Blast will deal a good amount of damage with, of course, consecutive shots. His first ability is called Energy Beam. This is where he can hold down his visor and let off a big long-lasting blast. His second ability is called Jump Shot. This is where he shoots at the ground and gets a vertical height advantage. So it's not a double jump because he's just jumping once, or just using his, it's not even jumping, he's using his visor. It's like he did in X-Men 97 when he caught his fall, but just reversed. This time he's boosting himself up in the sky. His third ability is called Area Cover. This is where his visor has a 90-degree shot. This is where he can shoot his energy beam down the middle and it would slowly merge into the sides. Anyone caught in the Area Cover ability will be taking damage over time due to the, let's say, energy poisoning or whatever damage they took from the third ability's beam, I guess. Now this is where I start putting his character into his moveset, because since he's the leader of the X-Men, I thought it would be cool to have a passive where he can have other X-Men help him in his abilities. His passive is called, to me, My X-Men. Each of his normal abilities will become mutated abilities. For example, the Energy Beam ability will last longer due to the help of Jean Grey. Jump Shot will now have a horizontal leap on top of that with the assistance of Angel. And Area Cover now has the instant effect of the burning damage due to Beast modifications to his visor. These special abilities will have their own cooldown, so you can still use the normal abilities, but the mutated abilities will have a larger cooldown than his normal abilities. And if you use a mutated ability, that still counts as his normal ability being used. Let's say the cooldown is like 4 times larger than his normal cooldown for his abilities. His ultimate is called Visor Off. This is basically going to put you in first person and you will have complete control of the energy beam. This beam will last for 10 seconds and you have complete control of your energy beam, where you can target anyone who is in your field of view. And you can still take damage during this time, of course, but you're in first person, so you have a really big advantage of seeing like the entire area. I don't know, I thought it was cool. Tell me how I did with the Cyclops concept for Duelist. X-Men also has a number of fans who are requesting for the X-Men villains. For example, Gladiator is someone I did not expect to get, requested, but there's some people who want it. A lot of love for Omega Red. I know Omega Red from, I think one of the Capcom games he was in. I'm gonna give Gladiator a 40% chance. I'm gonna give Omega Red a 60% chance. I have to re-record this part because my PC crashed. That's amazing. By far the most requested X-Men villain people want to see in the game is Juggernaut. So Juggernaut is, of course, going to be a Vanguard. I think no one will disagree on that. His primary fire will be street hands. Basically, he does the same thing the Hulk does. He just throw hands. Is that a problem for anyone? Good. Juggernaut's first ability is called Run Down. This is a signature Juggernaut move where he runs headfirst into a crowd of enemies. You could pin one down just like a Reinhardt charge, and if more people are in the way, then they will just have the knockback effect. Of course, you can stop the charge if you kill him. His second ability is called No Escape. So this was an inspiration from Jax from Mortal Kombat, because he has a move where he grabs you and punches you repeatedly. I'm like, oh my god, I like that a lot for Juggernaut. Let's say there's a flanker in your backline or you just catch somebody off guard. You get to punch him 3 times. After the second hit, there's a chance that they could break the grab. If other teammates arrive and do enough damage to you, you could break the grab. You won't die, but they'll be able to break the grab. But that third hit does a lot of damage if you connect it. It's not a one-shot kill, but it does do a lot of damage and it leaves you very vulnerable, because after the third hit, you go down on the ground, which then he can combo off of his first ability. His third ability is called Backhand. Now, Hawkeye just got revealed, and he has a big sword that does this, basically the same thing I'm saying. But for Juggernaut's case, it won't take that long to, do the knockback effect. It's just his hand that swings you away. The passive I made for Juggernaut is specifically tailored for this game, and I'll tell you why. His passive is called Can Head. Headshot damage is reduced. Headshot damage will grant more energy for Juggernaut's ultimate, and also breaking the environment will grant a speed boost. In Marvel Rivals, there's a universal ability where you can see what part of the map is breakable. I'm like, no one uses this. And I thought this is the perfect character to use it for, because if you break the environment, you grant a massive speed boost for Juggernaut, because that's like Juggernaut's thing in like the comics. He just runs through walls. He's like the Kool-Aid man. So I thought we can use that environmental breakdown thing as an advantage for some characters in this game. And I thought Juggernaut's a perfect example for it. Also, the headshot damage reduction and the energy thing was because his helmet is actually, there's a lot of lore that goes into his helmet where it's like very powerful. I think it blocks like Professor Xavier's like power, because I think they're related. I forgot how they're related, but they are related. His ultimate is called Hammer of Kurath. Hopefully I said that correctly. This is new to me. I did not know he wielded a Hammer of Destruction, basically. This hammer grants him a speed boost. It instantly heals him back up to 100%. Once it lands, it does damage to enemies, and once it's in his hands, pray to God. You can still use all your abilities, it's just way faster for them to activate. For example, rundown's really fast and no escape, the punches are really fast. Primary fire turns into hammer strikes, which cause massive amount of damage, and they do knockback as well. Oh my God, and we have made it to the end of the video. This has been a lot of work. I did not realize how long this was going to take, but a lot of you guys commented last video, and I want to say thank you so much for that. And just like I said at the start of the video, if we do break 100 likes in the first 24 hours, there will be a Ghost Rider concept video. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I know y'all are excited for Marvel Rivals. It's almost here. We got a bunch of other Marvel Rivals content coming out very soon. Hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. Peaceful people. Goodbye.